Well, this is just gross. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. And if you're watching this on Friday, happy Halloween, or for those of you in the future, happy late Halloween. Happy dressing up like a slutty cat day. I did debate doing the entirety of this video in a costume, but this was the best that I could come up with. It's blowing air in my face! No! This is not what I intended at all! Help me. Quick note before we start too, the 50% off sale on my tea website is ongoing for Earl Grey, New York Breakfast, Emerald Green that are expiring at the end of November because I don't throw out tea here. We don't do that here. Use the code WeDon'tWaste on the site for 50% off or check out all the other flavors too. I promise you they're very yummy. Okay, that's all. Now, because it is spooky season, let me lay a spooky story on you. Jump scare. I'm just kidding. But not really. So it turns out our favorite gauche TikToker, Lily Tino, has made a triumphant return to the internet after, only a few months ago, making a big song and dance about taking a break. Let's be real here, anytime an internet personality says that they're taking a break, you know that they're gonna be back in about a month. The addiction to all of that attention is just too tasty. Sorry. That was gross. Now, one would think during this time away, during this period of not posting, Tino would have actually reflected and decided to make some change. But no! This weirdo has instead come back with a vengeance, and the content that is being churned out here is the same level of creepiness that we have come to know and expect. Ah! I'm sorry. I did it again. The only difference now is this person has seemingly escaped over to Twitch, where apparently creepy behavior is extra tolerated. So good for you, Tino, buddy old pal. Of course, there are a couple reasons why this matters and some additional information here, but before we get into that, let me just give you a little bit of the backstory if you're new here or you need a refresher. I am deeply sorry to have to remind you all of this again. So if you're new to Lily the Freak Tino, this is an internet personality, a TikToker, who had everyone in a bit of a tizzy a few months ago. In a tizzy, Sydney? Who am I right now? My mum? Sorry, mum. I do love you and your weird language. Not your terrible Midwestern accent, though. That is awful. I go and wash the car? There's no R in the word wash. None at all. You frickin' Midwesterners with your funny accents. Lily Tino is a trans-identified male, a former man, if you will, who has become very infamous online for a host of things, including but not limited to posting not safe for work content alongside content for kids. This one still really gets me. It's mamming people out in public when they use the wrong pronouns, particularly waitstaff at restaurants to whom Lily is incredibly rude, begging for money online to pay for the meals out, as Tino is a self-styled food critic. Harassing tired and underpaid waiters and waitresses. A Lily Tino pastime. But the thing that got our noodle-haired friend into the most amount of trouble recently was going into many women's bathrooms at Disney World in Florida and taking photos with women in the background. This is a no-no. As a result of that, the internet went absolutely apoplectic, calling this person for absolutely everything. This is to the extent that other trans people were like,
"Wait a minute! Who are you?"
As many of you know, and those of you who are new to this are probably expecting at this point, this was not even the first time that Tino had come under fire for doing weird crap at Disney. There is something so weird about Disney adults. At the California park, Disneyland, the internet erupted because Tino made a video that discussed graphic gender reassignment surgery and illustrated this point using food, which Tino does quite regularly. I have said it before, and I am going to say it again. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to know about your marshmallow one, guy. Nobody. People were correctly horrified because, I mean, Disneyland is clearly not the place to be talking about these kind of things, but children, more specifically, could be heard in the background laughing and playing. In the Disney World case, and I think this is the important part of this, the incident went so viral that the AG of Florida said on Benny Johnson's show that he and his team were looking into the incident, and they take this kind of behavior extremely seriously. Because, as it turns out, it's actually quite illegal in the state of Florida to not only take pictures of people in the bathroom, but be a male and go into women's bathrooms. They take it quite seriously there, and they will come after you when you do these things. It's sort of amazing how in such a short space of time, right-wing politicians decided that they wanted to lay down the law when it comes to this topic, and yet even now, a lot of leftists are still stuck on not misgendering people. Which is even funnier when you consider just for a second some of the news that has been popping up with relation to this topic. Like the recent Don Lemon story, just for example. I immediately looked this story up on Ground News when I saw it on Twitter because I knew that no left-wing outlet would even touch this. Don Lemon said that Megyn Kelly is not hot and looks trans. And as I predicted, because this does not remotely fit the leftist narrative, not a single leftist outlet has covered it, making it a huge blind spot for liberal readers. And if they had Ground News and used it, like you all should do, they'd be able to see this sort of story as well and break out of their echo chamber using Ground News's blind spot feature. But as you all know, I have used Ground News for literally years at this point. Ground News can also show us how different outlets cover the same or different stories. Let's keep with the transgender theme here and look at this recent story about a transgender powerlifter who basically had a court rule in favor of this person very recently. Now we can see here that left-wing outlets are covering this story here as a big win in their headlines because the court ruled in this person's favor, whereas we can see here that right-wing outlets are focusing on how this person is participating in women's events. And I find the different coverage here absolutely fascinating because it really does go to show how biased the different kinds of news coverage can be. I've used Ground News for years now, like I said, because I think number one, it's really important to be well informed, but more importantly, I actually really love what they're all about. They're subscriber funded, which is incredibly important, and it means that they aren't being paid to push one side or the other. They're just an amazing news aggregator. So if you too are ready to support Ground News and get behind their mission and what they're all about, then click the link in the description, scan the QR code on screen, or go to ground.news/Sydney. And don't forget to subscribe through my link to get 40% off unlimited access to their Vantage plan, which is the same plan that I use to do all of this wonderful news reporting. In addition to getting smacked by the state itself, which is really something, there were rumblings that one of the women pictured in the background of Tino's photos was looking into her own sort of legal action. But as far as I know, nothing has come of that. Now, realistically, the more that I thought about this, the less that I expected to actually come out of this situation, because although it is illegal to take pictures and videos of people in these settings, and although it is illegal and Florida takes it very seriously when men go into women's facilities, I'm just not so sure how high up on the priority list this particular incident was. But of course, with all of this pressure and anger and the potential legal issues and what have you, back in July, Tino went on TikTok and posted a video about taking a break from the internet, saying the primary point of the content Tino makes is to entertain.
I'm hurt. I am deeply hurt because of the amount of hate that I've gotten over the past 3 years doing this, 2.5 years.
Well, I mean, you kind of brought a lot of that on yourself, no? Telling everyone that Kurt Cobain was trans or pretending to be pregnant. Yeah, people really love that kind of content. Very entertaining. Let's also not forget about your OF content there, friend. That's a weird stuff that's burned into my brain after watching all of that. This is a pathology that I don't have time to get into. The video was a lot of this, talking about being hurt, how that hurt has really impacted the content that Tino makes. Basically, this is a person positioning their existence as one of victimhood, which is incredibly annoying because guess what there, friend? You are not the victim here.
The way that my hurt has taken over my content in some ways. So thank you for all the support. and I'll see you somewhere down the road.
Now, the response to this was about what you'd expect. A bunch of people got in the comments and were like, "Be gone, vile person!" Vile weed! And for a few months, it was actually quiet. It was very quiet on the Western Front. But then this illusion of online peace was shattered because in October, Lily Tino posted a video that simply started with, "Hello."
Hello.
Ah! Well, now there's spray everywhere. Damn you, Lily Tino. Here, have some ASMR while I clean this.
But while I was gone, I did some reflecting on the way that I've been approaching things and figured something out. And that something is that I've been leading with anger. I kind of already knew that. Before, but that I've been leading with anger, specifically that I don't want to lead with anger.
You see, the rest of us thought that you were leading with insufferability, but do go on.
But I'm excited to start up again because even though my time off has been very nice and a very nice opportunity that I have the privilege of taking to reflect on things, I'll be happy to see y'all again in the stream.
Now, from what Tino was saying here, honestly, I watched this and I was like, I mean, this doesn't undo all of the weird, creepy things that you've done, and it doesn't undo that you're probably an unsafe human being, but if you're trying to turn over a new leaf, I mean, who am I to judge? If you're trying to be a better person, have at it, friend. And actually, this kind of philosophy about this type of thing is why I didn't cover this to begin with when it first happened. Yes, creepy Tino was back, but with this, newly articulated perspective shift, I thought, okay, on you go. So rather than talking about this back in early October, I instead waited to see what kind of content Lily Tino would start to post again. And very soon it became clear that absolutely nothing has changed. Tino's first real video back involves, you guessed it, the women's bathroom, which I should have mentioned before, but Tino loves posting videos and pictures in women's bathrooms. It's a whole thing. In this video though, Tino is making a joke about how the automated sinks often don't work. I vehemently dislike you. It's like, of course, the first real video that you post after your break has to do with bathrooms. The very thing that got you chased off the internet in the first place. I am tired. The next video was about having to inject oneself with estrogen. In this 5-minute long video, Tino addresses having a low voice and says in spite of this, he does take estrogen. To do what? Exactly. What feminization exactly is this estrogen doing for you? What is it doing? Also, what the hell is this photo in the background, dude? Like, is this some weird dog kink cosplay? Why is this hanging in your house? Even if I wanted to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, I can't, because every new thing he does confirms for me that he is a freak. Perhaps the weirdest video that Lily Tino has posted since coming back to the internet was one that seems, once again, directed at children. So on brand. So on brand. In this video, Tino talks about growing up with the assumption of being same-sex attracted but enjoying secretly wearing a bra under clothes and generally feeling weird in adolescence.
Do you remember the time in middle school when you thought that you were gay or you felt gay and you told every single person in your class that you were gay, but then realized that you actually don't like boys, but you still felt gay? Yeah. And you know how you always feel like if you wore a bra under your clothes, you might feel really good? And how every day you wake up pretending to be someone you're not, and it's confusing because is everyone else feeling like this? Are they pretending too? And you're confused and you're lonely. And the big question that's haunting you for your entire life, like, why am I like this? Is there something wrong with me? I have an answer for you. You are a trans woman. Yay!
Bro, lots of young people feel incredibly weird as teenagers. All of us felt weird as teenagers. How could you not? The only people who don't feel weird and actually enjoyed high school are the ones who go through all those years looking like actual adult people. while the rest of us are stuck looking like Gollum.
Oh no, don't react like that. It's actually a good thing. And I know you don't even really understand what it means to be trans because nobody freaking told you, but you are going to get a head start on that transition. You're going to start that laser hair removal. You're going to start those hormones, and you are going to be so freaking happy.
A bunch of the comments on this were like, who exactly are you talking to here? Like, why are you talking as if this is directed at kids? Because Lily Tino is talking to kids, Simon. That's what's happening here. Lily Tino wants to talk to your kids and go to the places where your kids hang out. This has been made abundantly clear. Of course, the fun continues with Tino's presumably Halloween post, and you guessed it, this is another video about bathrooms, because of course it is.
Captain, a trans alien has beamed aboard. That's troubling. Put the ship on red alert. Apparently they ran straight from our teleporter to the bathrooms. Wait, what? Yeah, straight to the women's room. Probably to do weird trans alien stuff. Send security. Wait, Captain, I'm receiving reports that they actually just went to the bathroom and didn't bother anyone? Okay, this must be one of their little tricks. Why would someone beam on board just to use our bathroom? Apparently her planet banned trans people from using public bathrooms? Weird. But if they banned them, there's gotta be a good reason for it, right? Sir, she said all those reasons are made up.
The funniest thing about these videos is how they really tell on the person who is making them. Lily Tino so clearly does not think that women being uncomfortable with men using our facilities is a problem. Yeah, you're completely right. We have 100% made up our fear and concern. Thanks for your input, Noodle Hair. I won't lie, I do wish that Lily Tino was in fact an alien, so that I could call ice!
Made up? Yeah, none of it's true. But why? The trans alien says she has no freaking idea. Oh, well that's kind of rude. And they also don't let her play sports. Wait, really? Or have access to healthcare. Come on, what planet in their right mind does that? The planet is Transphobicus 9. Oh, that makes sense. This trans alien seems perfectly nice. Tell them they can use our bathroom anytime they want.
You know the screenshot that is circling Twitter right now? The one that says that leftists will deliberately pretend not to understand issues, thus making discourse impossible? This is that. Now, for the most part, Lily Tino has escaped to Twitch, making that the primary platform for posting. And I admit that I went and watched a bunch of the streams over there, but they're like literally 2 hours long. Who is watching someone eat and talk smack for 2 hours? This is like trauma ASMR. One of the biggest things that infuriates me about this whole Lily Tino thing is that this person continues to have an audience, and it's probably mostly women. Lily Tino has obviously learned absolutely nothing, continues to have an audience who don't care about any of this behavior, and on a long enough timeline, this is an individual who's just going to go back to the same content that they've been making this entire time, making women out in the world uncomfortable, being weird towards kids. It's like, it really is Groundhog Day, if we're being real. Not only that, and I didn't include this in the other videos that I made about Lily Tino because there's a lot here, and there's a lot that I need to go through and verify, but before all of the weird Disney stuff and the it's mamming the rest of the population, Lily Tino seems to have spent actual time inside classrooms with kids, which makes me raise all of my eyebrows all at once. Not as a visitor or a substitute popping in for the day, but seemingly real sustained contact with students. Public records and old social media breadcrumbs show Tino worked in multiple school settings, sometimes in roles that put this adult in direct daily proximity to minors. The exact title shift depending on which archived post you dig up: classroom substitute, after-school program coordinator, actual teacher, but the pattern is unmistakable. Access, authority, and a captive audience of children, which is quite alarming. Now layer this with the content timeline. About a year after leaving one of these kid-adjacent positions, Tino was posting the same unhinged mix that later blew up online. I'm not super sure where to put this in this specific video, so I guess here's as good a place as any, but in my travels of the internet, I also came across information about a former Reddit account for Tino. I mean, this is all alleged, obviously, but apparently this account posted links to what seems to be a NAMBLA blog. NAMBLA stands for the North American Man-Boy Love Association, and you can probably piece together what that means. I'll just tell you, it's a fan of the playground group. Are you surprised? Probably not really. So, as most of you probably have figured out by now, given this is what my 4th video about Lily Tino, I would like for this person to permanently leave the internet, because I think that much of the behavior that's been exhibited here is not okay. The weirdness towards children and the creepy behavior towards children, it's like, it's not quite there where it's so overt that you can point to it and say, look, this is what's happening, but there's enough of it going on in a way that builds a picture of who this person is and what this person is like. And so with Lily Tino coming back to the internet saying, I'm gonna do everything differently this time, look, I've grown and changed, I really didn't believe that for a second, and I think the fact that there's been an immediate return to form really demonstrates that this is a person incapable of shifting and incapable of making normal content. There's so much more to say about Lily Tino, and I'm sure that this will not be the last video that I make about this individual, but for the time being, I am positive that we can expect more creepy content, more weird bathroom behavior, and I'm sure with enough time on Twitch, this is going to just get worse, because now we have more and more content of this person doing more and more things to look at and scrutinize. So unfortunately for all of us, our friend Lily seems to be back on the internet for the foreseeable future, but I do think, and I maintain this is a person who is going to eventually do something that is going to get them in big, big trouble. And maybe that will be the Disney World situation. Maybe that will actually turn out to be something important. Or maybe it will be this other woman who has threatened to sue Tino after being photographed in the women's bathroom. But in the end, for now, this is a creepy individual who's going to continue doing creepy things, and unfortunately, all we can do is sit back and watch the poop show unfold. Now on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder to check out Ground News using the link in the description. I have used them for literally years now. I am a massive fan of what they're about. And so if this is something that you care about, you want to have better informed opinions about the news, absolutely check them out. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Are you on my side of this issue where you just wish that Lily Tino would have stayed away and not come back to the internet? Do you think it's a good thing that this person is back and making content and giving us all these opinions that we now know and love? What do you think of the really bizarre, weird bathroom videos? Do you think that it's very on brand for Lily Tino to come back and immediately make this sort of content? Do you think that we're all just really misunderstanding who this individual is and they have good intentions with what they're trying to do? What do you make of the escape to Twitch? Do you think that's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? What do you think of the information I kind of just dropped there at the end on all of you about the NAMBLA stuff and what have you? Does that surprise you to hear? And what do you generally make of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you are not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well as leaving this video a like and a comment, because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing your feedback. As I always say, I hope you little potato noodle magoos stay safe and well and make good choices, and I will see your wonderful little Halloween faces in the next video.